Welcome in to the Sactown Sports Kings Recap Show. The beam is lit. That is all that matters. The Sacramento Kings. It's you know what? Let me take my time and enjoy this. The Sacramento Kings have beaten the Los Angeles Lakers 116-111. It's always a great feeling when you can say that, when you can take down your most hated rivals. And it did not look like it was going to happen. If you watch the first quarter of tonight's game, Sacramento Kings got off to a rough start. I mean, you knew it was going to be a challenge offensively tonight without Domantas Sabonis. When news came out that he wasn't going to play tonight, there was going to be a lot of questions on how the offense was going to operate. And it definitely went through its fair share of struggles to start the game, but especially in that second half, after De'Aaron Fox really just carried the team through that first half with 20 points. Then other guys started to hit shots. Kevin Huerter, we saw start to get into the rhythm. Harrison Barnes went to the foul line a lot tonight. Great game from HB, continuing to have great games on a night-to-night basis now. That's the kind of consistency that you like to see from Harrison Barnes, a player who has been known to, on occasion, disappear at times. And it's good to see Harrison really in this stretch of games that they've had since the new year. Harrison has absolutely stepped his game up. So that's been great to see. And he was great tonight without Domas getting to the line, like I mentioned. He was 6 of 7 from the line tonight. Kevin Huerter, I mentioned, got his shot going after it looked like he wasn't going to have it. Huerter had a great second half. I think he had 15 points in that second half. Also hit a clutch three to put the Kings up late in that game. It was a great showing from Kevin Huerter. Great to see that he can still get shots off. We've seen this season a lot how dependent Kevin Huerter can be on Domantas Sabonis to get, not necessarily in a bad way, but just how beneficial it is for Huerter to have Sabonis out there to get him open off of screens. And, it's a big question on if you're going to get different shots tonight. It was clear that the Kings could not play the same style of offense that they've been running all season tonight. Without Domantas Sabonis, they were you saw a lot more isolation, especially on the Lakers side. I mean, Russell Westbrook has reached like JaVale McGee level memery for me. Like, I don't know, memery probably isn't the right word, but like watching Russell Westbrook play is just like, it's a constant joke. Like, he is always making some Shaq in a fool clip every quarter. But you saw a lot more isolation basketball tonight from the Kings. I think they finished with like under 25 assists, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can pull up the box score. They finished with 23 assists tonight. They usually average around 27, so you figured that the ball movement wouldn't be the same, but it was really apparent in that first quarter. I was talking with my Return of the Roar co-host Frankie Cardicelli, and he wasn't feeling good. He did not feel like the Kings had it tonight, and I definitely agreed with him. I mean, the Kings really struggled to start the game, but when they needed it most, like I said, De'Aaron Fox carried them through that first half. And I thought it was a really good night from Richaun Holmes. I think Richaun absolutely deserves a round of applause or to get his flowers for tonight, stepping in for Domantas Sabonis, with not only Sabonis out, but Alex Len out as well. It was going to be him and Chimezie Metu that were going to get the center minutes tonight. And Richaun, we all know, has had his struggles throughout this year. He's really not been able to find much consistency, not only in his minutes, but in his game as well on a night-to-night basis. Richaun, you never know if you're going to get a good Richaun or a bad Richaun. And honestly, most nights it's been a bad Richaun. But for him to come in tonight, he gets 30 minutes. That's more of a comfortable, that's what he's been accustomed to his first 3-4 years here in Sacramento, is getting those kind of minutes. And he produced like the Richaun Holmes that we've seen in years prior. He has 16 points, 11 rebounds tonight on 7 of 7 from the field. So he didn't miss. That's he didn't get nearly the amount of assists of Domas, but that's a nice little Domas not impression, but just filling in the gaps when Domas isn't here. Also mentioning that big stat tonight for Keegan Murray. He gets a double-double as well, 10 points, 10 rebounds for Keegan. I can't pull up the video clip because my StreamYard's all messed up, but the Kings posted a clip on their Instagram maybe about 2 weeks ago. It's a clip of Mike Brown in his pregame press conference talking about how somebody came up to him, and if someone were to come up to him and ask him, hey, and he was telling Keegan Murray this, Keegan, if someone were to ask me, what do you do, if Keegan Murray isn't hitting his shot on a given night, what else does he bring to the table? And Mike Brown makes a hilarious joke of it, but the point is, Mike Brown has challenged Keegan Murray to do more than just be a shooter. And tonight, if Keegan Murray doesn't, let's just say Keegan Murray has 3-4 rebounds tonight. He has 10 points, 4 rebounds. I'm probably saying Keegan Murray had I'm not even gonna spend time talking about it, because he was only 3 of 6, 2 of 4 from 3, great. But for him to impact the game in a way besides shooting, especially again without Domantas Sabonis, who's leading the NBA in rebounds, let alone obviously the Kings in rebounds, you knew that there was going to be a big gap, especially with a Laker team that is very big and very paint centric. There's going to be a lot of boards that are up for grabs, and Keegan Murray and Rashawn Holmes absolutely stepped up tonight in the paint, and that was excellent to see, because it would have really hurt to lose this one. I mean, you have the built-in excuse of Domantas Sabonis not playing, but tonight kind of did have a bigger meaning to that. Can this team win or still be stand a chance without Domantas Sabonis? We know how important Domas is to this offense, and that's not trying to diminish what De'Aaron Fox brings to this team at all, but it's a natural question to have of how good is this team without their guy that's an MVP candidate, averaging more assists than your point guard. Without that piece, can you still be a legitimate team? And no, the Lakers aren't, a top tier team in the Western Conference. They're, I think, the 13 seed actually now in the West, if I'm not mistaken. They are the 13 seed right now in the Western Conference. So they're by no means world beaters. But it's still LeBron James. You saw, I'm going to talk about LeBron James in a minute, but it's still LeBron James, and it's a test. And I think LeBron gave them a great punch tonight. He was incredible. He held up his end of the bargain, and the Kings were going to have to, they couldn't skate by this one. There was a possibility that they really could have lost this one, and for them to pull it out in the end, it's a good statement win. And I definitely think people are going to recognize it. I should also mention, this is the most important. There's 2 crucial things that I have not mentioned yet. First, your Sacramento Kings, ladies and gentlemen, are now the 3 seed in the Western Conference. The Pelicans lost tonight. The Dallas Mavericks lost tonight. Sacramento Kings win. They are now the 3 seed in the Western Conference. Oh my goodness. I cannot. Let me add this to the ticker. This is ticker worthy. Let's see here. Kings now the 3 seed in the West. Okay. Sorry. Had to add that to the ticker. That's definitely ticker worthy. And number 2, the second most important thing about tonight's game is the fact that it was in front of Danny DeVito. And that was just absolutely incredible to see. The broadcast showed him and talked about him for like 10 seconds, but I feel like that's not the proper amount of appreciation for Danny DeVito, because I absolutely love Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And it was great to see Danny sitting pregame. I thought for a minute that was going to be the story of the game, that was going to be really the only positive we could take. But I'm glad that not only did the Kings get the dub in front of Danny, but I don't know if everyone saw this. I am going to see if maybe this works. There was a fan that hit a $70,000 half-court shot tonight at Crypto.com Arena. Let's see if we can pull that up. What were your impressions of tonight's game? Who's your player of the game tonight? Obviously, Tough to not give it to De'Aaron Fox when he has 30 points. But Rashawn Holmes, I mentioned, steps up big without Domantas Sabonis in the lineup. Also, Harrison Barnes. I was not expecting Harrison Barnes to hit the most clutch bucket of the night, where he got the and one late in that game. It wasn't the prettiest move for sure, but he still ended up getting the job done. So put in the comments who your player of the game was. Here is the fan right here who hit $70,000. This happened today in Crypto.com Arena, I believe at halftime. Bang. Bang. You only wish that I would have gone to a Kings fan, but wow. So tonight was a very eventful night at Crypto.com Arena. I want to talk about LeBron James for a second, who is quite literally on a mission, and he is playing like a man who is on a mission right now. I mentioned he gave the Kings a nice sucker punch today. He was incredible. 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists for King James. The man is attempting to do what many thought would never be done. There's a lot of records in sports that people are like, just think that it's untouchable. And Kareem's points record for a long time, for my entire life, I have been told that Kareem's record would never be touched, just because the longevity and the amount of points that you would have to score over that extended period of time. So not only do you have to just play for a ton of years like Kareem did, but you also have to be able to score at an elite level while you're still playing at an older age. We saw that was a big struggle for Karl Malone once he was on the Lakers. He wasn't nearly the scorer that he was before. But LeBron is averaging, I think I saw he's averaging 35 points per game in the month of January right now. He's 300 points away, or under 300 points away from breaking Kareem's record. Just absolutely incredible. Like, the fact that he's doing this still at the age of what is he even now, 37, 38 years old, in his 20th season, it's ridiculous. There's honestly not even words for it. We're starting to see Tom Brady, kind of some chips in Tom Brady's armor at the age of 45, but it doesn't feel like nearly the amount of athleticism is required. It's a different kind of athleticism for sure, but there's constant motion in basketball. It's just different. And for LeBron to be at the level that he's at his age and how consistent he's been, I'm not the first person to tell you about LeBron James, but wow. It's just crazy to go against, on a night like tonight, where it just felt like he was carrying that Laker team. And, for him to be doing it at 38 years old is absolutely incredible. So, not that LeBron needs any more praise, but big ups to that guy, because he's a certified problem. Like, it's not just the guy is famous and he's popular. He does get a lot of foul calls in his benefit. I will say that was definitely a note that I had tonight was LeBron James cannot be touched. Chimezie Metu had the cheapest touch foul I've ever seen, where Chimezie went vertical and he barely touched LeBron's elbow. And got the foul call. But LeBron, you're just not. Keegan had a charge, what I thought was a charge, called a block foul on LeBron as well. LeBron's just he's. I saw the clip today of when I think it was with Jordan on the Wizards, and a referee is asking him, Mike, did he foul you, Mike? Did he foul you, Mike? Hey, Michael, I believe you. Like, I think he's reached that level of like just allure for referees, clearly, because that guy is on a different level. You know what? This is a great point here by Akash. Respect to Kevin Huerter for the 8 dimes. And yeah, I mentioned Rashawn and Keegan's double-double as well, but that's another huge part, obviously a huge part of Domantas Sabonis' game. He's a huge connector for this team. They run their offense through him offensively. In the high post, and when they didn't have him tonight, the ball movement was going to be a natural question. De'Aaron finished with 6 assists, but Kevin Huerter, who is definitely not known as a distributor, for him to finish with 8 assists is I'm definitely going to rewatch this game either later tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm very excited to see because I do feel like I missed a lot of Herter's assists. I didn't realize he had 8. I'm excited to rewatch and see all those dimes because he's, like I said, he's not really known as somebody who's an elite playmaker by any stretch. Usually that's Malik Monk, and I think we should just not talk about Malik's game right now because he's on the quiet the thing that no one wants to talk about right now is Malik Monk has played pretty poorly as of late. Even on the season, I was looking at his 3-point numbers, and I think everyone who has watched Kings basketball for all of this season would definitely say Malik has been a positive overall this season on the court. He's provided a spark at times for this team when their offense wasn't going, or he gave them a spark that pushed them to just an absurd level at one point earlier this season. But he's only shooting 32% from 3, and after shooting 40 last season in Los Angeles, and I believe 38 or 39% the season before that in Charlotte, for him to be shooting 32% from 3 on the season, he was 0 of 3 from 3 tonight, 1 of 9 from the field, really struggling for Malik. I guess it's better. It makes sense that it's happening right now. We are starting to really get into the middle of this season, and maybe he's getting a little bit fatigued right now. But it has not been a good stretch, and I'd much rather have him struggle now and have time to figure. He has time to figure this out. We're just at the midway point in the season. I would much rather him struggle now and figure it out by the end of the season than have all of this success and then really struggle late in the year. When the Kings really need it. So definitely something to monitor. Malik has struggled. It has been acknowledged, but let's hope that he can bounce back because the Kings absolutely are going to need him at points this season. Let's see here. Yeah, what a team effort. All 5 starters finished with over 10 points. That's huge, especially, again, I keep mentioning it without Domantas Sabonis. People were going to need – it was going to be huge for people to step up tonight. And all 5 starters having over 10 points is absolutely stepping up. Let's see here in the comments. Keegan stepped up rebounding, mentioned that. Good team effort. A lot of people talking about the team effort. I completely agree. It was, like I said, the ball movement wasn't necessarily there, but I think you could tell that these guys really wanted to prove that they can win without Domantas Sabonis. And, they proved tonight, to me at least, the offense they did not score 130 points. So they are not the same offense that they are with Domas as that streak now comes to an end at I believe 4 straight games of 130 points. They only score 116 tonight. But they definitely they showed up offensively. For De'Aaron to still finish with 31 points. You knew that the Lakers' game plan was going to be to slow him down, for him to still get to his stuff, shoot over 50% from the field. Ugh, let's not talk about the free throw line. That's been something that he's been better at this season, but was not good tonight. He was 3 of 7 from the free throw line. Thank you, MK. My PK tones. Sorry about the Vikings. I've been saying they're frauds all year, so I'm not that sad about the Vikings. I'd rather just let's not talk about that. We're talking about happy stuff. HB has been on a roll lately. Absolutely. Light the beam. How about that? Light the beam. Cheering here from the Philippines. That is awesome, Julius. Shout out you. I don't know. That's a big time difference, especially with a 7:30 start today locally. That's shout out you, Julius. That's awesome. And I think that makes me think of the fact that, did y'all hear those light the beam chants in what is it called now? Crypto.com arena? That was incredible. Who would have thought the day that a Sacramento Kings winning chant comes out in a Kings Lakers game at their home in LA? That was incredible. We are officially on a real movement. Like, this Sacramento Kings team, people are talking about it. If you are an avid YouTube watcher like I am, and you look up Sacramento Kings content semi-frequently, my algorithm right now for recommended videos is full of just random YouTube channels making don't sleep on the Sacramento Kings, or the story that whatever no one's talking about, or the Kings are crazy explosive offense. People are starting to notice on a just everywhere. Like the Kings are no longer sneaking up on anybody. On Kings Weekly this Saturday, I will absolutely be talking about Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox's appearance on ESPN the other day. That was huge. People are taking notice of this team. And, again, stacking up these wins, this is now 5 wins in a row for the Sacramento Kings, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? It is 5 wins in a row for this team. It's good because they started this. We were all talking about this easy stretch of games, this 7 games where they had the Lakers, the Magic, 2 against the Rockets, Spurs, Lakers, and then they close it out on Friday against OKC. They started off that stretch with losses to Atlanta and then losses to LA. And so it was like, oh, okay, so we're about to revert back to good old Kangs and sad time. But, they haven't done that to their credit. They've won 5 in a row. They're now 7 games above 500, which is crazy. Again, I at this point, we are in uncharted territory for Sacramento Kings for the past 16 years, at least. That is, everything that this team does is the last time it had happened is 2003, 2004, or 2005, 2006, which is the last playoff season. So unheralded success for the Sacramento Kings right now. Haven't seen this kind of basketball in a really, really long time. And again, tonight, I think we're going to look back and at this one and be like, wow, like that should have told us that this team is legitimate. Like for them to get a good win here, not against a good team, but a solid effort against and a good opponent. I think we're going to look back on this one without Domas and look back very, very fondly. Let's see here. JJ Redick did praise the Kings on their podcast. That's a great point. I did see that. That was really cool to see, because JJ has been quite the, not hater, but he has been very critical of the Sacramento Kings for making the Tyrese Halliburton trade. He was a big Tyrese guy and has Tyrese on his podcast network all the time. So he was very defensive of that trade. And, he did give the Kings credit. I thought he said some great things about the team. Like I said, it's really good to see that we're getting national notice now. And, I expect that to continue as this team continues to win games. I wanted to pull up here before we get off. I should also mention, please, you're going to want to be tuned in to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Huge announcement for the radio station. Really excited about that news. Can't wait for you guys and gals to hear that one. And I'm excited to for what's to come. Let's see here. The Sacramento Kings, teams below 500. The Kings are now, they're now 16-6 against teams below 500 this season. So they have taken care of business against teams that are worse than them, which coming into the year was a huge, huge key for me. It's especially your first year of finding success. We've seen it's hard to beat the top tier teams in the league. Kings have struggled against the Bucks and the Celtics, and they split against the Nuggets, teams like that. But you can still be a successful team at the end of the season if you just take care of business, take care of the teams that you're better than. And the Kings, to their credit, have absolutely done that. 10 games above 500 against teams below 500. So good to see that. Yeah, he definitely was a hater. JJ was a hater. It's about time Kings are back in the spotlight. It has been too long. I completely agree, Street Thumper. With that, I am going to give My player of the game, I'm going to give it to Rashawn Holmes. I know and look, again, I'm not trying to short De'Aaron Fox here. He had an incredible night, 31 points, 13 to 23 from the field. He was great. The Kings do not win this game if De'Aaron Fox also is sitting out. But for Rashawn Holmes to come in, play 30 minutes after the season he has had, it was really, really good to see. It's the human part of it too. Like Rashawn is such a nice, good guy. It's really good to see. I hate watching him struggle this season. I hate the fact that some fans have really been not unfair to him, because that's the nature of this thing. You're a public person, and you play. You're an athlete. People are going to scrutinize you, and I think Rashawn understands that. But it really hurts to see it. Such a nice guy and somebody that legitimately does want to help this team. To see him struggle the way he has this year, it's not been fun to watch, and I don't think anyone has really enjoyed it, because we have enjoyed Rashawn Holmes' tenure here in Sacramento. But for him to have the game he had tonight was really, really fun. And the best part was, ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Bryant didn't go nuclear. Thomas Bryant only ended up with 8 points and 4 rebounds. So that's the biggest win after Thomas Bryant had the night of his life last time he played the Kings. So I'm going to give it to Rashawn. Good to see him play well. And obviously, De'Aaron Fox had an incredible night himself, and deserves all the accolades. But as Mike Brown likes to say, this is what I expect out of De'Aaron. So I'm not going to necessarily hoot and holler about it, because this is exactly the kind of player he is, and this is the player that the team needs him to be. So good on De'Aaron, but the award is going to go to Rashawn. And I do wonder, I have not had time to check Twitter actually, has the defensive player of the game chain been given out? If anyone has seen it, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to see it. I don't think it has been released. So with that, I'm going to head out. Again, please be sure to tune in to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Okay. It did go to Rashawn. Thank you, Megan. The award did go to Rashawn. Make sure to tune in to the Carmichael Dave Show tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for a huge announcement. Really excited about that one. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. For myself, my name is Chris Watkins. Sacramento Kings win this one on the road, 116-111 at Crypto.com Arena. Huge night for De'Aaron Fox. Kings are the 3 seed in the Western Conference. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.